Hi guys, welcome to Backstage Meet the Model. I'm here with the beautiful Trina Murray. That's with the A, Murray, because I always say with an EY, but this with an A is AY. How you doing, Trina?
I'm alright. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. So Trina, let's just jump right into it. How long have you been a model for?
Oh, that's a good one. I want to say like 4 years. Not that long.
4 years. So right around the time I met you.
Yeah.
Okay, I met you through Sylvia Robinson, who
Yeah.
brought you in to do a shoot. Was that your first shoot?
No, but
No.
that was like my first shoot, like wearing somebody else's clothes and stuff.
Okay.
In that sense.
Okay, so you've been at it for 4 years. How do you like it?
It's interesting, you know? It's never a dull moment, so I enjoy that part of it. I like the excitement of it.
What when you say the excitement of it, what's the excitement about modeling?
There's always something new, something different. People's perspectives are exciting because it's things that you never thought of, but it's like cool to do for you. You know what I mean?
Okay. Now, what type of modeling have you done?
Editorial a little bit, and then boudoir. Am I saying it right?
Yes, you are saying it right.
All
Boudoir. Okay. And do you like one via the other, or one any more than the other?
Not really. I'm pretty much go with the flow.
Okay.
So if it's a dope concept or idea, like I like it. Like I'm
You're
already gonna be into it.
Okay. Okay. And you've worked with quite a few photographers. I've seen that you've worked with quite a few people. But it seemed like you did narrow that down a bit recently.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true? Is there a reason why?
Just based on like their availability, like quality of like how they shoot me or edit my photos, because like
Okay.
I like a certain look. So.
Okay. Okay. And well, let's go back to you getting started.
Okay.
Okay. What got you into modeling?
Honestly, it was my best friend.
Okay.
I did one shoot just for like the heck of it, and I didn't really have like the way everyone else sees me. I don't necessarily see myself.
Okay.
So he would always give me like that body confidence, like confidence in general to like do it, and he would just like always like rave me and hype me about it. So then
Okay.
it made me want to like venture out more and like do more, and then I realized there's more to modeling just than just one look and stuff.
Right.
Like there's other ways to do stuff. So then it got me deep diving in, and the encouragement kept me going.
Okay.
So.
Now, were you scared?
Yeah.
What got you over that hump?
Him helping me, honestly, his
Really?
like encouragement and like honestly like breaking down the flaws that I thought I have and making them strong points for me.
Okay, I get that. And you do your own makeup.
Yep.
Where'd you get that from?
To
Just-
be honest, I have no idea. Like
Really?
none at all. Like I've just always kind of been into it because my mom can't do her makeup, my aunt can't do her makeup. Like
So you just got into it.
I just got into it and I got really good at it.
Okay. So your first shoot, what was that like?
Nerve-wracking.
Really? Why do you say that?
It was my first boudoir type of shoot.
So your first shoot was a boudoir shoot.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's jumping right into
Way
it.
to go in. And that was the first time like that I've ever, I wouldn't say be naked, but be that vulnerable on camera or in front of somebody like that. And I just was not confident.
No, geez, that's something that's.
It's actually like on my social media. Like if you like look at it as a person, like, and you do like photography or modeling, you can clearly tell like I'm not comfortable.
You weren't there.
Yeah.
Why would you jump into that as your first shoot?
I had liked the concept of it, and then the inspiration photos that they had for it. I thought my first shoot was like a Valentine's shoot, and it was supposed to be a big bow. It was not that big of a bow. And so
you thought you'd be covered and you really weren't covered.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that threw me off. So when I got there, I'm like, this is not that big.
Yeah, like, I was hoping for a big bow and I got a tree ornament.
But I'm not a quitter and I like see things through. So I was just like, you know what, we're gonna try to make the best of it. And the photographer I was working with was like really great with like guiding me and trying to help me with my comfortability.
Okay.
But yeah.
That's pretty funny. Most people don't jump into photography, I mean, modeling and go right to boudoir. That's kind of like something they transition into. You know, they do some shoots first, you know, and then they transition into it. But, you know, kudos to you for jumping right in.
Yeah, I'm kind of just that person. It's all in or nothing.
Well, I tell you what, there's nowhere to go from there. Well, there is, but.
Yeah.
So, after that shoot, you liked it, I guess.
Yeah.
You liked it, and so you started doing more.
Yeah.
And you started to go into the editorial end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And what was that like for you?
That one was better because I was like more clothed, and so I was able to be more comfortable being in front of the camera because I don't like public attention. So that was the other thing that I kind of liked about doing modeling with just doing pictures is that like I am in a public eye, but I'm still reserved into myself.
You're hidden still.
Yeah. So I was just like, okay, like I could go with this. Like,
I'm out there, but I'm not out there.
Yeah, that was honestly like I've always been told that I should model, but that was part of the reason why I never did because I was like, I don't want public attention. I don't want to be a public eye. Like.
Okay, and so now you jump out there, and you're in the public eye.
Yeah. It's not as bad though because it's just like it's not in a bad way. I feel like it's more other people in the industry. They'll be like, "Oh, like I seen your work, like I want to work with you," kind of thing, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like
okay,
it's like
so it's not
more...
really public. It's like kind of like the creative community.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got fortunate with not having so much of the other part of it and getting more of the creative.
Okay.
Part.
So what has your experience been with the other models?
It's cool. Like I get to experience other personalities because I'm very to myself.
Okay.
Even being around other people, I'm just like an observant kind of person, but it's cool to kind of realize that there are other people out there that are like you personality wise and like feel the same that you do, so it helps you like open up more, and they have like a lot of pointers. Like it is not like in the movies where everybody's like a mean girl and like no, like they're actually very opening and welcoming. Like
no, that's a very, 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 very good assessment because there's a perception that models are the mean girls. Yeah. And there are some, like everywhere else. There are some. But for the most part, that you know, really has not been a lot of people's experiences. You know, experiencing mean girls, you know.
Yeah.
They are, but you know, they're just it's just a very very big misconception. So you get into modeling and you're doing editorial, you're doing boudoir. Have you found your lane yet?
I want to say yes and no. Yes, because like a lot of my photos are like boudoir photos.
Okay.
So like I feel like that's my niche, but it's just kind of like my comfort, what I was onto. But I can do anything else. Like I have done other stuff, which
right,
I'm also.
But models normally fall into.
Probably like a boudoir model.
and how do you get into that role?
Honestly, I don't know. I really, I don't. It's just like, I very rarely say no to a shoot, kind of thing.
Okay.
So like, whatever the concept is, and it usually somehow falls into play with that, and I'm like, all right, like I already know how to do this. Like this is nothing to me, kind of thing.
Well, I mean, how do you get yourself ready? How do you prepare for the shoot for the
So I ask 20 million questions because I am very detailed and prepared. And I just make sure that I have like everything like laid out. I try to like look for like inspiration photos or something to like go by or try to like pose like just so I have like an idea what to go for. And then I just try to take direction of the photographer, the creative director that's on set.
Right. And do you channel a character when you do it? Because a lot of times I talk to people and they say, they channel this inner character to become, you know.
I mean, now that you say it, I guess so. Because, like, I guess our alter ego has always been, like, Mary Jane kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Right. The reason why I asked that is because I know you.
Yeah.
And your photos don't look like who you are.
Yeah,
You know
now
what I
I'm going
mean?
to third.
You know what I mean? You're kind of goofy and silly and
I am hella goofy. I am nothing like what anyone expects. So
right.
like
So
seeing
they
my
see
photos,
the sexy photos and it's like, oh, this girl's sexual and sensual and all this, and it's
and
like,
I'm a big goofball in person.
yeah, it's like, no, you don't know, Trina.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like that's why I asked if you could channel inner character.
Yeah, it would have to be, because even when I did the Poison Ivy shoot, like all I thought about is like Mary Jane and stuff like that, because it's just like nature and naturalness, and I feel like that is probably like my alter ego person, like my comfort person.
Okay.
My comfort person.
Now, who's Mary Jane?
So it used to be a major pothead. That's how I got the name, but it turned into like this kind of like alter ego, like everything that is a public eye that I myself as Trina wouldn't want to be in, Mary Jane is cool with, kind of thing.
Okay, explain that.
So I don't like public attention personally, but if I'm in that character and I'm in the set of I have to be in a public eye, I'm Mary Jane, because Mary Jane is used to being in the public eye. All the photos are Mary Jane. That person that you're seeing that's not the goofball is Mary Jane. The sensual, sexual person that would be Mary Jane.
I got you. Okay. So, have you ever done a photo shoot as Trina?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was that like?
It was cool. It was relaxing because it was reserved. It was more like who I am and chill.
Okay. So that was, I imagine that would be different because you're probably Mary Jane more often than not when you're doing shoots.
Yeah. That one was actually cool because it was to myself, but it was also a little nerve-wracking with releasing, because it's like I'm giving more the public eye of my raw self, like my actual self, as opposed to my alter ego, which is what everyone is used to.
Got it. Okay. Now it's starting to come together for me now. Okay. Because, we did this shoot in roller skates.
Yeah. So that was also part of another Trina moment as opposed to...
Yes. And that was just so different, to shoot you, like, because it was like, you're just having fun roller skating, falling and doing all types of stuff. I'm like, holy shit.
That was so nerve-wracking for you. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. Like, I do this on a regular. Like, this is my thing. Like...
Yeah, but okay, so you channel different characters. Now, have you worked with another model? Have you ever worked on like a dual shoot or a trip or three models?
Yes, I have.
How's that experience been?
The first one, so the first time I actually worked with you was a dual shoot. I did it with Sylvia.
That's right.
And
who else did the girl? Lexi Coleman.
Okay, yeah. Yes. And that was my first shoot with you. So that was my first dual shoot. That one was dope and amazing because going back to like model things, Lexi was super helpful.
Yeah, Lexi's really cool.
And telling me what to do, because that was like my first like real like shoot, especially modeling other people's clothes and stuff. So she was super helpful. Like it made me like want to do it more. A few of the others I've done, I wouldn't say that I'm a fan of.
Yeah, I find that a lot. A lot of models find it, I'm just going to say, difficult to work with other models in the same scene.
Yeah.
Because you're battling personalities, egos, looks, the whole nine, and so it can get a little bit.
Yeah, you're trying to also work with like whether people admit it or not. You're working with other people's comfortability too. So it's just like you're trying to make sure all of you are comfortable, and it doesn't necessarily work like that, especially when people aren't so communicative.
Yeah, people have different comfort levels though.
Yeah.
They just do. They have different comfort levels. And while the creative director or photographer has a vision, not everyone's seeing the same vision. Yeah. So it can be very difficult to work with. Now just recently, again, you've been modeling for 4 years. Have you done much runway?
I did one, and I'm like doing an upcoming one.
What was the first one like?
That was hella nerve-wracking. It gave me like this weird feeling. Like it gave me a thrill, but at the same time it scared me.
Okay, why?
Because I don't like public attention, and I am straight in the public eye. If I look to the left of me, which you're not supposed to do, don't do that. Right. And even like looking straight ahead, I'm in front of real live people that are staring at me, and all eyes are on me in that moment. I don't like that, but it was thrilling because it's just like, I don't know, I like strutting, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like I like modeling other people's clothes. Like, I thought that was dope. Like, I got to be a showcase for them.
Yeah.
So that was the part I liked, but I didn't like the public attention. And then at the end of it, I got to do what I love, which is just doing regular poses and taking pictures.
Now,
so.
when you're doing Runway, who's that? Who's there? Is that Trina or is that Mary Jane?
That's a mix.
That's a mix.
It's a mix. Because the nerve-wracking is Trina when I'm scared and I'm like, oh my God, all these people are staring at me. But me executing it and getting through and doing pictures at the end, that's Mary Jane, because I'm used to that.
Okay.
So I'm like basically battling both, and I'm trying to like hope that Trina takes over, like not right. Trina, but Mary Jane takes over, because that's what I need. That's the confidence person I need to get through and not be like, I'm not going to go out there. Like, we're not doing this.
Oh, jeez. So you also have an upcoming show.
Yes.
That's coming up. What is that like?
That one's pretty cool. There's a lot of dope concepts in it.
Mm-hmm. But it's not a standard Runway show. It's what's called a drama.
Theatrical.
Right. What is that like for you?
That is a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Yeah, because it's just like, not only are you trying to be on the pace of somebody else, you're trying to execute that person's vision at the same time. But you're still trying to be a runway model almost, because there's still moments where you're just like walking a runway walk.
It's a runway walk.
Yeah.
In addition to.
Yeah, and the addition to is the hard part.
Do you feel like an actor, maybe?
Slightly.
Performer?
Yeah.
Is it more of a performance than a runway?
Yeah. Most certain parts of it, like, there's scenes. So, like, it depends on what kind of scene you're in. So, some scenes, it is just runway. So, then it's just like, okay, this is basic model walk. And then other scenes is you are acting, because it is a scene. Like, you're portraying it. You're going to walk your runway at the end, but it is a scene.
Right. And now, do you find that difficult?
Yeah, because then that's a hard transition, because you don't have time to have fear or have any of those things. Like, you got to be that one person that is going to keep you going throughout the whole thing.
And that show is a Sylvia Robinson show.
Yes.
What's it? Does it have a name? Yes, it does have a name. I can't.
I don't think she has.
But it's Sylvia Robinson show coming up on April 13th.
Yeah.
April 13th at the Boathouse in Washington Park.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, when you do a show like that, I assume you're meeting lots of different girls.
Yes.
How's that?
It's cool, but also I'm so reserved into myself. I probably seem standoffish, but that's the Trina version of me, because it's just like, that's a bunch of people. That's a lot of people to try to get to know. That's a lot of people to be talking to. Like, that makes me nervous. Like, so I engage, like, if you engage with me kind of thing, which everyone thinks I'm so stuck up and standoffish when you meet me, because I have the resting bitch face, all of it. But then you get to know me, and then you get to know this goofball. Yeah, so then it's pretty cool when people, like, get to see me, like, outside of my shell, and they're like, oh, I didn't expect that kind of thing.
Okay. Like, hey. Now, you grew up in an era where, and I'm not going to tell your age.
Okay.
But you're a youngin'. But you grew up in an era where, at least early on in your era, where it wasn't cool to be a tall girl.
Yeah.
Okay. But now, it's wonderful to be a tall girl.
Yeah, that's a crazy transition.
How'd you make that transition? Was that a difficult transition to make? Because, it goes from being not wanting to be seen to people want to see you.
Yeah. Actually, that was also part of the reason why I didn't want to model ever, is because I was so tall and I didn't realize, I've never actually like looked into it. So it was one of the things I never realized, that being tall, you got praise for it. And I was like, literally since kindergarten, the tallest girl in school. Like, I was taller than all the boys. Like, you name it, I went through it. So it was like really hard. And that was also part of why I wanted to be in a shell. And I am so like reserved into myself, because if I wasn't seen, I didn't get picked on. So, and then you go through it for so many years, it just becomes like who you are. So like coming in and being a model, and you're getting praised for having long legs, and you're like, wait, what?
Wait,
like,
what?
like, what is this?
They like this?
You're right. And it was like, it's like a pleasant surprise. So it was actually like very nice and comforting for having that transition. But then it also like opened my eyes more to like look out more in social media and what's going on and stuff, and look into modeling and be like, wait, like this has always been like a thing. Like this is a thing. Like it's cool. Like
now I noticed something in you. A lot of times when I deal with tall girls who are models, they have this habit of slouching. Mm-hmm. You're not a sloucher. Is it something that you had to work on? And they slouch because they're always trying to look a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
And because the people standing next to them, the picture that they get into, they want to get a little bit lower so they don't want to look so tall and dominant.
Yeah.
But you're not a sloucher,
So that comes for two different reasons. Me doing dance, and I did ballet specifically. You can't slouch in that.
Yes.
And then my grandmother, like my great grandmother, even my grandmother is like an etiquette person. So like, don't slouch. Like that's not a thing. Like you're not presenting yourself like correctly. So I just never.
I got you.
Never been a sloucher. Even like I'll catch myself and I'm like, I'm gonna like sit up straight, guys.
Right. Now I know Sylvia. And I know Sylvia well, and I know Sylvia is a stickler for walking in big heels.
Yeah.
How are you on heels?
Honestly, I'm pretty good with it. I hate heels, though. I'm a sneaker girl all day.
Well, what are you, 5'10"?
I'm not even that tall. I'm 5'8.5". Yes, and the half makes a difference because I like, my little shortness. I'm still that person inside.
So you put on heels and you're, 6 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
And it's not so bad because especially walking in Sylvia's shows because she loves tall girls. She loves legs. Yeah. So I'm like, there's girls taller than me. I'm like, this is so lovely.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, it is true, though. She really loves tall girls, and she wants them to... She doesn't want her girls to squat down. She wants her tall girl elongated. To be tall. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
So I like it. It's cool. I like meeting other tall girls, and I'm like, oh, cool. We're all tall together.
Now, jumping to the next subject here. How are you? What is your social media like?
I'm so bad at it. The most active thing I'm somewhat good at is Snapchat. Like,
okay.
I'm so bad at social media. I don't really understand it. I'm not gonna hold you.
Okay. Why?
I just like how I was born, or like when I was born, I was just like
it's in between.
Yeah, and I was more so the kid that like wanted to be outside than inside. Okay. And if I was like doing stuff that was electronical, like I was kind of playing video games, but like I get really bored and I'm like, I'd rather just watch TV. And I don't gotta learn nothing watching TV, like clicking on and off.
Now, I went through your social media before we were, I think maybe a second or third time we worked together. I said, let me find out who this girl is. And you can almost get like whiplash trying to figure out what the girl is. I mean, there's so many different...
I'm all over the place,
You're
per se.
all over the place. Is that how you are in life?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're just like...
I'm
going with the flow. If this is where I'm going today, that's where I'm going.
Yeah, pretty much. Or like whatever I feel like doing, I'm gonna do. So like one day I could want to go to like a freaking concert, I'm gonna go. The next day I want to be in the wilderness, I will be in the wilderness. Like it literally just like depends on my mood. Like
okay. Also with your social media, are you active on Instagram?
Yes.
What's your Instagram handle?
Claim_Mary Jane.
Claim_Mary Jane. Tell me what that means.
So, you're gonna laugh at the story behind this. So, in college, my house was like the trap house. Like, if you wanted to come and smoke, you would smoke at my house. Like, my dorm room was the only dorm room that smoke alarms didn't go off. Like, so everyone smoked there, and that's how I got the nickname Mary Jane. Because I used to smoke a lot. And plus, everyone would just come and smoke at my dorm. Wow. And it just like kind of stuck with me. And then I wanted to do music when I was younger, and I wanted my own record label, and I wanted to be Mary Jane Lane for like feel good music, because I always felt like when you're in the state of being high, like you're calm, you're cool, you're relaxed, you just feel good. And it kind of stuck with me because I was just like, yo, like I'm a feel good, easygoing person. Like, you know.
You know what's so funny about that? If somebody had asked me to name 5 people that I'm pretty confident don't smoke,
Yeah.
you would have been in that 5. You would have been in that 5. And the reason why is 2 reasons why. Number 1, I have never smelt it on you.
Yeah, I don't really smoke like that anymore. Like,
okay, and number 2, it's because you're almost like naturally high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's like you're kind of like, I wouldn't think that you would be need to get artificial because you always seem like you're kind of
like it just yeah.
Yeah. So what were you like when you were high?
More of what I am now. Actually, I'm probably a little more mellow. It depends, because like in that era, I was like more of what I was now. I was like the opposite. Like I was definitely like the partier. Like my friends would call me to get a party going kind of thing. Okay. So like if I smoked, I'd be like, all right, we got this, we're cool, because then I'm just tuning everything out anyway. So I'm not seeing all these people that are around me, anything like that. So I'm like in a different state. But I'm always been like happy-go-lucky with it.
Yeah.
So, but then now it's like as I'm older when I do it, it's more so like I'm super relaxed. I'm way more mellow. I'm probably just gonna go to sleep. Like.
Okay. Now you're back in school.
Yes.
What are you going to school for?
Massage therapy.
Massage therapy. Now I know that's a lot of difficult classes.
Yeah.
And people think that, well, how the hell can that be difficult? But it's a lot of physiology.
Yeah, right? I'm basically almost like me going to school to be a doctor, because I gotta know every part of the body, every muscle, every layer.
How do you like that?
I don't like learning all of those things because not everything is actually applied to massage, but doing massage itself, I love it.
Okay. Like, the learning process you don't care for.
Yeah.
But the act of it.
Yeah.
You actually love.
Yep.
So in order to get to that, though, you got to go through that.
Yeah, I'm almost there. Push it through.
How much more do you have to go?
A few more months. Hopefully I'm done in November.
Hopefully you're done in November.
Yes.
Now, what do you plan on doing after that?
So I want to do my own suite to start off with, but transition into opening my own spa. And I want to do like all natural stuff and get into Reiki, because like one of my things is
What's
I love
Reiki?
crystals. It's like energy work and dealing with like your energies and cleansing like your spirit and your soul and stuff.
So like, what is it, like holistic healing or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeez. Okay. I see that for you.
Like if you know me, like I'm surrounded with crystals and stuff, and I'm just different. I'm not what anybody expects.
Wow. Jeez. Yeah, I could see that in you. I really could. So are you transitioning out of modeling?
No.
No? You're gonna do both?
Do both.
Okay.
Because I'm a multitasker person. That's just who I am. Like.
Okay. So what do you got coming up? What's on the horizon for you? Aside from the show on the 13th, of course. Do you have any shoots planned?
Kind of. Yeah.
You could play it close to the vest?
Yeah. Because I want to do a bunch of different things. I'm always doing a bunch of different things. My shoots are completely different. They're like boudoir, but then what would be like the other ones? Because I do like a lot of theme stuff and like a lot of...
What I started seeing you move more towards, it's boudoir themed. Boudoir with a purpose. You know, a lot of times boudoir is about sensuality and sexuality, things like that. So, but you seem to be moving more towards, I want to say almost boudoir plus. You know? So it has a theme. It has a you know, it's just not about sensuality.
Yeah, there's a little more to it.
A little bit more to it. So I've seen you moving in that direction. And you're really creative. Have you ever thought about maybe creative directing or getting into directing shoots?
I've thought about it, but this is my thing. And it's like the same thing as doing makeup. I know my face. I know how I work in my contours and my body. Trying to execute it with somebody else is a little difficult, and I may not place people in the right sense. You know what I mean? And
I got you.
my biggest thing is I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I never want to like bring anyone's confidence down because I definitely know what it's like not having confidence. So I don't necessarily want to put myself in any situation to do that to somebody because I wouldn't do it on purpose.
Right. But you. I get it. You would think that they're open like you.
Yeah.
And if they're not, you'd feel like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
Yeah. Right. And I am a very straightforward person.
Very straight.
So
very straight.
I don't know how to, and I'm really bad with wording. I'll be honest with you. And that was one of the first things when I do start speaking is like, I'll be like, I'm bad with my words. So forgive me if I say anything that offends you. Cause like, I'm not trying to.
Right. I'm not. Yeah. You're a good-hearted person. So I could see where you might say something, but I would see where someone would say, but that's not her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I could easily see that. Okay, so you got some theme shoots coming up on the horizon. Today we worked on a comp card for you.
Yes, which was my first because I'm trying to go into more of my scary element. Just being in the public eye directly.
Yeah, so you're auditioning for another runway. I imagine you're going to audition for a few more runways.
That is the plan. We'll see
plan.
how they go.
Okay. Have you done anything with New York Fashion Week or anything like that yet?
No, that's actually one of my goals.
That's one of the goals. That's on the bucket list.
It's on my bucket list, my model bucket list, because I have like 20 different bucket lists.
Okay. So who are some of the models that you look up to? Some of the local maybe models that you look up to, or if you don't?
So I look up to Alana Hope
the
most. I love her. That's my sis.
girl.
Like I know her personally. I just love her. Like, Mika. I don't even know Mika's last name, but Mika's just dope.
Mika. Oh, Mika. I know who you're talking about.
She's just dope. Like I love her. I love that she's like willing to do like anything to get the shot and like.
Let's get the shot.
She's so dope. Honestly, like those are like my two. Those are the two like I'm really like
vibe with.
Guy wise, Swerve is good. Mel, I actually kind of know Mel before he was a model. Okay. And I like what he's doing.
So you know Mel back from in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How do you know Mel? Have you?
Me and his cousin used to go to high school together, and he used to live next door to me, and I ended up hanging out at his house all the time. Okay.
And you've never done any of his shows?
Nope.
Is that on a bucket list maybe to get in one of his shows?
I'm considering.
Okay.
I know Mel, so like.
Okay.
I'm slightly scared to work with him.
Well, he's very demanding.
I know Mel.
I always say he's one of my favorite content creators to work with, because he pushes you to be better. He pushes everyone to be better because he wants his vision executed to the T.
Yeah, he's like that as a friend and a person in general. So like working with him is just like I'm scared. Like,
and it's funny because I work with Shakima Cochran, who's my creative director, and we did a shoot last night where she actually pushed me out of my comfort zone. She made me work for it and work, so I really appreciate that in a director. Yeah. A director that makes you uncomfortable, makes you work harder to get the shot because he makes you a better photographer. He makes you a better model. She makes you a better photographer, a better model. So I really do appreciate it, but I do understand where you're coming from. You got to be ready for it.
Yeah. I mean, you've worked with me, so clearly, like, anything you tell me, I will execute and make sure that it happens.
Yeah, you take direction very well.
But I don't know. That's just me being, like, timid and scared in general, like, with it. It's not saying that I wouldn't. I probably would, but I don't know. I just got to get out of my comfort zone, which is, like, part of the reason why I'm starting to do Runway and stuff, to push myself out of my comfort zone.
Okay, I get you. So this is the year of jumping out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
And what is your comfort zone? I mean, I work with you a lot, so you have a very broad comfort zone.
Well, it's different. Modeling is different. I feel like when I'm doing regular shoots and I'm not in that public eye of that sense and it's just me and the photographer, I don't really have a comfort level because I'm just like naturally comfortable. I've been doing it for a while now, so like I'm just used to it, even like no matter if I work with a new photographer or not. But being in a public eye, like personally public eye where I can see the public, that is going out of my comfort
That's
zone
going out of your
because I
comfort
have
zone.
nothing to hide behind.
Yeah,
I have no photo, like no
Nope.
screen.
A mistake is a mistake.
Yeah. So that is the comfort zone, is being in a public eye, is going out of it.
So you're breaking down that barrier this year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, certainly stepping into a drama show is a way to do that.
Yeah. But as I started modeling, did I step in a normal way?
No, you don't do anything normal, I guess.
No, I don't.
That's good. Okay. And so who are you on Facebook?
Trina Murray.
Trina Murray with an A.
A.
With an A. TikTok?
No, I don't have TikTok.
No TikTok.
No, everyone yells at me about it. I can barely work the ones that I have. Like, I'm not trying to. You want me to do videos? Like, oh.
And how has modeling affected your relationships?
Not really.
Okay.
But when it comes to talking to certain people, like when I mention it and they see it, sometimes it like brings up stuff. But then I feel like because of how I am, just gives people a sense of security, so then it doesn't become a problem.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it makes a lot of sense because I would think that as a boudoir model, that could certainly have a dynamic in a relationship.
Yeah.
And being upfront and straight and let the person know this is who I am, this is what I do, but this thing, that's Mary Jane, you got Trina.
Yeah.
So I could see that. Okay.
I actually don't really tell people at first. It's kind of like one of those things. Like,
yeah, but the first thing to do is go to your social media.
Well, that's how they found out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I kind of like let them figure it out on their own, like kind of thing, and then like you talk about it after.
Okay, I get it.
But then that's like usually the start. Like I let you get a glimpse, you can process, talk about it, and then that's it. But usually most people are just like, don't. The first question I get is how many people are in your inbox, which isn't a lot. Really, it's very rare. Yes, thank God. Like,
really?
Yes.
See, I would think that happens so often because of the amount of people in my inbox thinking that I'm the model. Like I post a picture of the model and they're in my inbox.
Nope. I got fortunate. Very random.
Well,
very
wow.
random.
That's weird.
Don't jinx me. I'm grateful.
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna shut the fuck up on that one because I know I can jinx motherfucker too. So, but that's good. Good for you. And it's honestly that's really strange because when I shouldn't say guys because that's not fair, but when people see people who do boudoir photography, boudoir models, they have a twisted view of who they are.
Yeah.
They do. They get a twisted view of them. It's like a dancer, exotic dancer.
Mm-hmm.
People think, oh, she must be easy. Let me get with that. Let me jump in her inbox. When motherfucker, they're dancers. Doesn't mean nothing else. It means they dance.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing about a boudoir. No, I model, motherfucker. That's it.
I think it helps too. Well, part of it is like because I'm not good at social media, so I'm not very like active in it. So it's just like, is this person even really real? Like,
That's a good point. That's true because you don't really have a social media presence.
No.
But I would think that as a model looking to get bookings and things like that, you would get more active in it.
So this is my thing, right? I take modeling seriously, but at the same time, I don't. So like, even if you do pay attention to the stuff that I do post, it's just like 1 month I could be on a roll and I have shoots back to back to back. And then I'll go on a hiatus for like 2 months. And then there's like nothing. And then I'm back again. Like I'm not very consistent with it. So therefore it's just like.
Well, you also have a lot going on in your life.
I mean, that too. But I'm also like, it's just part of like going with the flow with me kind of thing. Okay. So it's just like.
You feel like you are. That's what you're going to do.
Yeah. It's just like, if I get a career out of it, it's great. Like if I become like this big thing in billboards, that's great. If I don't, it's cool. Like I enjoy it. It gave me a confidence I never had in life. Like it helped, open some doors for me and stuff. Okay. And I'm cool with that. Like, it's just like a content thing for me. So whatever happens with it, happens.
Okay. Now, I got one more subject we're going to talk about.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about tattoos.
My favorite.
You are tatted.
I am heavily tatted.
And looking to get tatted more.
Yep.
What's that all about?
Alright, so, how personal are we getting with this?
Go ahead.
Okay, so when I was younger, I used to have a cutting problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stopped. Like, I made a promise to my grandfather. I made a promise to my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I discovered piercings. But then I'm like, I don't want all these, like, piercings, like, kind of thing. Like, I have a lot, but it's just, like, you know, some of the things, like, a lot of my stuff is, like, very subtle or here, like, hidden.
Okay.
And then I discovered tattoos. And I was like, yo, like, it gives me, like, the same thrill. So then I was just like, all right, cool. But then I got out of that phase in life and I got over that hurt and hardship and I healed from it. But I just, like, I'm a multi-talented person. Like, I can do a lot of stuff. Like, I can draw, I can sing, like.
Yeah, I know.
So a lot of my tattoos I drew.
Wow, and just had someone else.
Yeah, and execute it and fine-tune it. So it's just like, yo, I get to walk with my own art. Like, that's really dope. Like, and I can tolerate, like, it's not a pain to me. So, and I just think it's cool. So I was just, like, walking around with, like, on my own walking artwork. I think that's really dope.
Wow. Now, had that hurt opportunities possibly as a model? No. So
not for me personally. I mean, I always think it's funny because people will snap at me or bitch at me a lot about them. But yet they still want to work with me. They're still reaching out to me. And as I mentioned before, like, I'm very, like, low-key. Like, I don't go out looking for stuff. So, like, to have people still come to me is, like, clearly they don't bother you that much. Like, you can get past it.
No.
Like,
yeah, it's true. But I just understand where it comes from. People look at people and they like, in a perfect world, you'd like you're an artist, you like to draw. Yeah. You'd like a blank canvas to draw on.
Yeah.
In a perfect world. Now, we're not in a perfect world. No. So you can't have, maybe you can't have a blank canvas. Maybe
but you can add to it and you can put your own twist and your own enhancements on it.
That's what I always say is it's up to you to look at that and decide what you are going to do with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it to me, when a girl comes in and I didn't know she was tatted and she's tatted, it sparks my creativity. It sparks, okay, how am I going to do this? What am I going to do? How am I going to, maybe I want to highlight that now. Maybe I want that to be part of the shoot.
Yeah.
You know, so it just makes me a little bit more creative to do that. It doesn't stop me from doing anything. It just makes me a better artist, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like now, too, like, it's more of a broadening because, like, back in the day, models had to be, like, one look, one way.
One look, one way.
And then it's just like, if you had a tattoo, you better, like, have it covered up when you go to your showings and stuff. And it's, like, way more open and accepted. Yes. But I will say, not everyone has good tattoos. Like, and I feel like that is what should play more so a part in it. It's because it's hard to, like, clean up. Like, you can edit anything. But it's just
but
like,
you're right. Bad art, not so much.
Exactly. So I feel like if it's, like, a bunch of bad art, then, like, okay. I'm a little more understanding. If a person has, like, good art, like, why? You know, or really just go edit it out if you feel that would take away about it.
I don't think, see, I would never do that. For me, I would never edit someone's tattoos out. And because it's a part of who they are and it means something to them.
But some people, granted, I'm not one of those people. I don't have a single tattoo that I don't like or I regret. There are some people that do have, like, regretful tattoos or they don't like them and they do want them covered. So they are understanding of that creative director and stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, cover it. Like, yeah, I don't like it kind of
thing. Well, you're different in that you just, if you're headed right and somebody says, hey, I want you to go left, you say, okay, let's go left.
Yeah.
If you're going left and they say let's go, okay, well now we can go right. You're very accommodating.
Yeah.
So I find that to be a great thing for being a model, is being very accommodating like that. So that's a great thing because you can adapt to whatever.
Yeah.
It's like the shoot can start here and end up at a tree.
And it has.
And Trina's up in the goddamn tree. So it's like, okay, I get it. So that's a very good thing. So Trina, it's been very nice talking to you. Thanks for stopping by to talk with us.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
This has been a very fun episode, and I look forward to airing this.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you.
Thanks, sis.